Bronson. I am Britain's most violent prisoner.
Who was Charles Bronson, the most feared and violent prisoner ever locked down for almost 50 years? Charles Bronson, born Michael Gordon Peterson, December 6, 1952, is an English criminal often referred to the British press as the most violent prisoner in Britain. He had a normal childhood and a close relationship with his mother. During his teenage years, robbed many banks. Born Michael Gordon Peterson, Lawton, Bedfordshire, is one of the three sons of Ira and Joe Peterson. His father later ran the Conservative Club in Aberystwyth. His uncle and aunt each served as a major of London, 1960s and the 1970s. His aunt, Ellen Perry, is quoted as saying, "As a boy, he was a lovely lad. He was obviously bright and always good with children. He was gentle and mild-mannered, never a bully. He would defend the weak." Peterson lived in London for the age of 4, but he was in a teenager. His family moved to Aylesford, where he started his getting into trouble. By the age of 13, he was part of a gang of 4 robbers in juvenile court after he was caught stealing. He enjoyed fighting for an early age. He was often absent from school. Bronson later returned to Lawton, which he refers as his hometown. His first job was at Tesco, which lasted 2 weeks before he was dismissed for attacking his manager. He passed through a number of jobs, working as a hod carrier and in a number of factories. He was imprisoned for the first time at Risley, serving time for on remand for criminal damage after he smashed some parked cars following an argument with his girlfriend's father. Following his trial, he was fined and given probation. First arrest as a petty criminal, he was convicted and sentenced in 1974 to 7 years imprisonment for armed robbery. Additional time was added to attacks on prisoners and guards. Upon his release in 1987, he began a bare-knuckle boxing career in East End of London. His promoter thought he needed a more suitable name and suggested he change it to Charles Bronson in 1987, after the American actor. He was returned to prison in 1988 after being convicted of planning another robbery. He is known as a violent inmate and has taken numbers of hostages in the course of confrontations with guards, resulting in sentence later being changed to life imprisonment. He's been held at times in each England's 3 prison psychiatric hospitals. Due his record of violent anger and mental illness in prison, Bronson is one of the highest profile criminals in Britain. He's been featured in books, interviews and studies in prison reform and treatment. He has said, "I'm a nice guy, but sometimes I lose all my senses and become nasty. That doesn't make me evil, just confused." He was the subject of 2008 film Bronson starring Tom Hardy, a biopic based loosely on his life. Bronson has written many books about his experience in famous prisoners. He was met throughout his incarceration as self-declared fitness fanatic who was spent many years in segregation, solitary confinement. Bronson dedicated the book to exercising in confident spaces. He's an outsider artist. Bronson's paintings and illustrations of prison and psychiatric hospital life have been publicly exhibited and won multiple awards. In 2014 he changed his name again, this time to Charles Salvador, in a mark of respect to Salvador Dali, one of his favorite artists. The Charles Salvador Art Foundation was founded to promote his artwork, and he helped those in positions even less fortunate than his own to participate in art.